So if you don't know this by now, getting viewers to actually click your thumbnail to hit play is pretty much the key to getting views and growing your channel. But thumbnails can sometimes be a cause of stress and anxiety. I know that's happened to me where I want it to be perfect and I don't want to spend like an hour or two. I just want to get my videos uploaded. I got this email. Hey Meredith, aren't thumbnails dead now that YouTube has changed the way they show previews? My heart stopped a little bit when I read that because I was getting ready to record this video. Gwen makes a very good point. Yes, YouTube does show previews, but what do you have to do in order to get that preview to show up? You have to stop scrolling. So you need to see the thumbnail. You need to see the title. There needs to be some like reaction in your brain to say, ooh, that looks intriguing. And then after, I don't know, like a second and a half or something, YouTube will start showing that preview. But until you take some type of an action, like hovering your mouse or stopping your scroll, you're seeing thumbnails. So I don't think they're dead. I want to show you this little cheat sheet that I created on an index card. People like to fall into this trap of thinking your thumbnails have to have certain elements like arrows or pointing, or they have to be certain colors, or you have to be making... If there was one thumbnail rule to rule all of the thumbnail rules, it would be that your thumbnail and your title work together in a combination. And I have a whole training on this inside of Thriving Creator Society, but let me give you the gist. Most of the time, we start out with some type of a like random video idea. For this video that you're watching here, there was something I was going to be doing that has to do with designing thumbnails that I thought I can document this and put it into a YouTube video. But what I just described to you is kind of bland because you're like, what is it? What is the hack, right? So we want to go over on the specificity scale. We're not just talking about some habit or hack or some like a random thing. We're specifically talking about thumbnail. So I'm increasing the specificity over here to say this is a thumbnail hack so you can get more clicks and create your thumbnails faster. Then we're going to move up. We're going to add some emotion. So here's the emotion scale. We're going to go from apathy to emotion. And this is where I'm going to start thinking about what are the emotions that I think you associate with creating thumbnails. The feeling of like, oh, I don't really want to create this thumbnail. I just want to upload the video. So there's maybe a little bit of impatience there, frustration, annoyance, anxiety. These are all words that you may or may not see in the title and thumbnail. And I may or may not have said in the intro to this video. See how this is all a combination. They all work together. So we've gone from bland to boring to intriguing. Over here, we move into the clickbait section of this cheat sheet. The clickbait section is where you just kind of brainstorm. If this video was entirely clickbait, if I was being entirely way over dramatic about this thumbnail hack that I want to show you, what would that thumbnail look like? What would the title look like? What are the words? It might be like OMG or finally, or you're not going to believe this. So the way this works in combination is I like to have my title be specific because I do want it to be searchable. Thumbnails aren't dead and neither is SEO. So I want it to be specific with a little pop of emotion. And then the words in the thumbnail are going to be a little bit more vague. That's the formula that helped me increase my click-through rates. Now, creating intriguing titles doesn't exactly come naturally to most people. That's why I put 17 fill-in-the-blank hooks for your titles inside of my YouTube video blueprint. It's totally free. I'll put a link down in the description so you can grab it. Now let's talk about the whole reason I wanted to create this video to begin with. One really aggravating thing about creating thumbnails, scrolling through your video to find a good screen grab that you can throw into your thumbnail. And then even once you do that, it's a little bit blurry, a little bit fuzzy. Let me show you what I have been doing so you don't have to scroll through and try to find that one spot where you were in the middle of a word and it kind of looks like you were smiling. You don't have to do that anymore. Just take some good still images of yourself to reuse in your thumbnails. So here's what's happening today. This is not my normal setup, obviously. I'm holding my microphone like all of the TikTok bros. Do you recognize these photos? Some of them are kind of wacky, but I love to set up lighting, camera, good lens, makeup, hair, everything. Take a whole bunch of still photos to use in my thumbnail images. If you look through my thumbnails from the past like year and a half-ish, you'll notice I'm using some of the same photos, and that's because it's so much easier to create a thumbnail with your face in it when you have one actual photograph. Like the photo quality is just better. And two, you also have this whole range of emotions in pointing over here and pointing over there and making the stupid YouTube face. It's horrible. And I hate that it works, but it does. So here's how this is all set up. So this is my normal desk. I usually sit here and I figured out that, look at me vlogging. Oh my gosh. So there's my camera, there's my Elgato key light, and these are on the Elgato like poles. And so all I had to do was raise those up to have them be at the right level. So my Canon M50 Mark II is connected to the computer, and I'm using Canon's just regular software to take still images. So putting your camera in actual photo mode for this is what you're going to want to do, because you have a bigger frame than just like 1920 by 1080, and you'll be able to get like a much crisper image. How weird is it that I'm talking to my other camera? Let me turn this around. I think you could also do this easily with your phone. For the best results, you want to make sure you have really, really good lighting for this. So let's just take some pictures. So this is the Canon software. This is like the preview window after I take the picture. And then this is my actual, like me in the actual camera. So I'm going to demonstrate. So I'm here, I'm in frame, and we're going to make sure that it's focused on my face, which it is. Fix my hair. This is just a demo. And I'm going to hit this button over here, which is basically the shutter button. I have the camera set to a 2-second delay. So when I hit the button over here to take a picture, I have like a couple seconds to go from hitting the button with my mouse to putting a pretty smile on my face. Not bad, right? I might even remove the chair altogether. A lot of this is going to be cropped, so it doesn't really matter if like you can see the stain on my carpet over here. Like those kinds of things don't matter. What I like to focus on is just like, am I in focus? Do I have any stains? Is my hair okay? Is my makeup okay? Now, if you're thinking, okay, so what is she gonna do? Just like stand there and smile 100 times for the camera? No. Oh, this hack is so good. If you go to google.com and do a search for emotions and then go to images, this tells you confused, impatient, grumpy, excited, obnoxious, and it tells you the face to make for those emotions. So that way you have this whole variety of thumbnail images where you can choose the emotion you want to convey in your thumbnail. So if this is a topic that frustrates you or frustrates your audience, you might want some images of yourself looking frustrated. I have always been kind of like the queen of facial expressions, but it really helps to pull up what are all of the emotions and what does that facial expression look like to get some ideas and inspiration. You're gonna look really silly in all of these images, but I promise it's going to up-level your thumbnails. I changed my shirt a couple times. These images are probably okay coming straight out of the camera, but I am gonna pull them into Lightroom. However, I'm not a professional editor. We'll figure it out. I have 161 images here. I know they're not all going to be like usable, but I'm gonna pull them into Lightroom. And from here, I'm gonna go through and kind of like cull the ones that aren't gonna work for me at all. If I come across one, like this is really blurry, I'm only actually editing the ones that I want to keep. So I ended up with about half that were decent enough to keep. This is Lightroom CC, not like Lightroom Original. And one of the first things that I'm doing is just coming under edit and just hitting auto. So I went through and hit auto for all of these images. So I know that the exposure and the saturation and all that stuff is just automatically going to be set. Because remember I said, I'm not a professional photographer. I'm pretty good. Look at that. But I'm not a professional. Look at all these amazing thumbnail images that I can use. From here, I'm just going to export these into their own folder. So I have the originals and then I have these edited ones. They're just regular full size 100% quality, so I can pull them into Canva where I actually design my thumbnails. But remember, the one thumbnail hack to rule them all is that your thumbnail and your title work in combination. That's why I included 17 fill in the blank hooks that you can use for your titles and even for your thumbnails in your next YouTube video. I put that in the YouTube video blueprint. That's a free download. And although I have a thumbnail design secrets video that I'll queue up for you over here, let me know in the comments if you want a full tutorial on how I create my thumbnails inside of Canva. Just say, hey, Meredith, give us a thumbnail Canva tutorial, please.